Little Red Riding Hood. Once before time, there was a young dinosaur with a beautiful red crest on her head. She wore a matching red cape that her grannysaur had made for her. The little dinosaur loved to hear the sound of her growl booming through the forest. That is why everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother was making a pot of fern noodle soup. "You can take some to Grannysaur," her mother said. "It will be perfect with the fresh bread she's baking today." "Go straight to Grannysaur's house," her mother said. "It is almost lunchtime, and we do not want the soup to get cold." Little Red's mother handed her a basket, and off she went. Little Red Riding Hood stomped through the forest. To pass the time, she sang. Little Red Song woke up a grumpy dinosaur named Kyle. Kyle jumped out from behind a tree and stopped Little Red. "Where are you off to?" he grumbled. "I'm bringing some fern noodle soup to my grannysaur on the other side of the forest," Little Red said. "She is making fresh bread today." Kyle was very hungry, and fern noodle soup with bread was his favorite. Kyle quickly made a plan. "I will run ahead to Grannysaur's house," he thought. "Then I will grab the bread and soup and eat it all up." Kyle wanted to slow down Little Red. "You should take some lovely ferns to your grannysaur," he suggested. Little Red reached for the plants, but then remembered the hot soup. She did not want it to get cold. Then she turned around. Kyle was gone. At Grannysaur's house, Kyle hid behind a bush and waited for Little Red to arrive. Soon, Kyle heard Little Red rowing as she made her way towards the house. When Little Red Riding Hood reached the door, Kyle jumped out. "Row!" he yelled, trying to scare her. But Little Red thought he was singing along with her. "Hello again. What are you doing here?" she asked. "I have come to gobble up the fern noodle soup and bread," said Kyle in his meanest voice. But Kyle did not scare Little Red Riding Hood one bit. "There is enough to share," she said happily. "I will ask Grannysaur if you may join us." Kyle was surprised. He did not think that Little Red would invite him to lunch. Just then, Grannysaur opened the door to greet Little Red. "Who is your friend?" Grannysaur asked. "This is Kyle. May he have some bread and soup with us?" she asked. "Of course," said Grannysaur. "The more, the merrier." "Thank you very much," Kyle said. Grannysaur welcomed them inside. Kyle Little Red Riding Hood and Granny Saw all sat down to share some hot soup and fresh bread. "This is the best fern noodle soup I have ever had," said Kyle. "And the bread is yummy too." They spent the afternoon singing and playing games together. The sun was beginning to set, and Kyle had to get home. Granny Saw handed him a basket of bread and soup. She invited him to come back next week for another visit. Little Red waved goodbye to Kyle, and he thanked them. He was glad to have new friends. Always remember to share. The more, the merrier. Thank you for listening, boys and girls.